Something is happening in Thailand, and if you haven't been here in a few years, you might not even be able to recognize it. Some people say it's evolving, others say it's lost its charm, but one thing is absolutely true: it has changed a lot. And whether that's a good thing or not really depends on what you're looking for. How's it going, guys? I hope everybody is doing well, and welcome back to the channel. So I've been living in Thailand for 3 years now, and if I have learned anything, it is that Thailand is always changing. Now, some of these things may be super subtle, like your mango sticky rice is 10 baht more now than it used to be, and other changes are a whole lot more drastic, whether that be new rules from immigration or entire demographics of people you see in certain places changing entirely. The first major change that I noticed, just to give you a bit of context, I made it to Thailand right after the pandemic ended. I got here as soon as all the entry requirements lifted, and it was once again easy to come here. In Thailand, just like most places during the pandemic, it essentially just pressed the pause. And then right when I got here was when they pressed play again, but it's almost like they pressed play and then went straight to 2x speed. During that time, tuk-tuk drivers were, hanging out, playing Candy Crush. Hotels were empty. So when I got here, this was my first taste of Thailand, and I didn't really understand how Thailand was before that. But now it's safe to say that tourism is back full swing. So if you maybe came a couple years ago and these places that you went, you really enjoyed them because they were more low speed, less crowded, that's not really the case anymore. Now, a lot of statistics show that the tourism numbers now are actually still lower than the pre-pandemic ones. But if you came a couple years ago, even comparing last year to now, safe to say things are gonna be a whole lot more busy. Certain things may become a lot more difficult than you remember. A lot more tourists, more crowded restaurants and beaches. It might be a little bit harder to find a condo now. You're gonna be running into a ton more crypto bros that claim they're here for the culture. Just all in all, the crowds have changed quite a bit. And speaking of crypto bros, one thing that has changed a ton in the past 2 years, when I first got here, I would tell people what I did for work or that I worked online, and people were kind of surprised. Now, Chiang Mai has kind of always been a hub for digital nomads since that became a thing, but pretty much everywhere in Thailand now you are meeting more and more younger people who are here working online. For me, that's great. It's a chance to meet more like-minded people that are closer to my age, especially in Pattaya. But a certain group of people, for whatever reason, they have this really negative attitude towards digital nomads. I personally don't understand it. Of course, if we're generalizing, some people who work online aren't people that I would necessarily hang out with, but meeting those types of people is a whole lot more common now. Another thing that comes with that territory is the opportunity to find places that cater towards those specific groups of people. They're all over the place now. When I first got to Thailand, co-working spaces weren't really a thing. I mean, there was a couple here in Pattaya and of course Bangkok, but now you see it all over the place. Even the little mom and pop local Thai coffee shops have infrastructure set up for that group of people. So if you're a digital nomad, maybe when you came here a couple years ago, you might have struggled with the infrastructure. It is a whole lot more available now. Now, the million baht question when it comes to asking, has Thailand changed? Is it still cheap? Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes. Thailand is still 100% a steal when it comes to cost of living, pretty much no matter where you are. Now, with that said, in the highly touristy areas, like we said earlier, tourism is pretty much back full swing. So in my time here, I have seen condo prices, some restaurants, tours, things like that. Those are for sure gone back up. Now, I can't really compare if they're more expensive than they were pre-COVID, but things are getting more expensive all over the world. Now, if you are spending time in Thailand and you make an effort to live like a local, whatever that means, if you're gonna, get street food, eat at the local Thai shops, it's still 100% affordable and is absolutely light years cheaper still compared to living back home in the West. Unless you're like me and have a serious cheese and pizza addiction, those are expensive. One of the biggest changes that I've noticed in these 3 years is I see from the outside looking in that Thai locals are becoming more and more connected to the world of web. There was a lot of things I used to see all the time in America when it came to, internet culture, TikTok, viral reels, all that stuff. I used to never really see a lot of Thai people being involved in that whole sphere. But that has changed and continues to change every single day, it feels like. Now, of course, Thai culture is still, rooted in tradition. But when it comes to online, I've seen quite a bit of kind of cultural shifts with the younger generation. Not to say that this is necessarily good or bad, but if you're coming to Thailand with this idea that Thailand is just completely removed from Western culture and you're never gonna see any crossover, that's not necessarily true, at least in the big cities. Now, when you go out to rural Thailand, that's a different story. They're set back, 5 or 10 years, so you can still kind of get that very authentic Thai experience. But for the most part, Thailand has become a lot more plugged in to that online world. And just like in America, I think it's only a matter of time before that starts kind of spilling over into everyday life and your interactions with locals in person. And we spoke about infrastructure briefly earlier, and I have seen some major changes when it comes to that as well. A big one is Wi-Fi. When I got here, Thailand in general already had pretty good Wi-Fi available almost no matter where you were. But the longer I've been here, it's just becoming more and more available. I think a lot of that has to do with the younger generation here also wanting access. When I first got here and I was looking at condos, it wasn't uncommon to find condos that weren't wired for Wi-Fi, but now it definitely seems like the vast majority are. And just like with that online culture, there's a lot of other things that we are so used to in America that Thailand didn't have when I first got here. Things are becoming more digital. It's becoming more available to get things handled online. When I first got to Thailand, it was still very much, you had to go in, file paperwork in person, send faxes, things like that. Now it seems like almost every month, things are becoming, much more digital and much more modern, I guess you could say. Let's talk about the not so fun stuff. Visas and immigration rules. Now, while Thailand in general is very easygoing, immigration is not. Immigration and visa rules and requirements have changed so much in these past 3 years. It's honestly hard for me to keep up. I tell a lot of people when it comes to current immigration requirements, rules, that if you're looking today, those rules were probably changed yesterday. Granted, these aren't inherently all bad things. Like we mentioned earlier, with all the new digital nomads wanting to spend time in Thailand, there's now a legitimate visa option for them. This landscape is always changing. Unfortunately, that's why I'm not really able to give proper visa advice to you guys. I would just hate to give you the information and then lo and behold, last month the rule changed and now you're explaining your 45-day overstay to an immigration officer who's not very amused. Not for the most broad, unspecific idea of change when it comes to Thailand that I've seen in these past few years, the vibe. Is the vibe still the same? For me, yes and no. I am honest with the idea that, of course, my idea of Thailand is much different now than it was when I first got here, but how much of that has to do with me being naive when I first got here and not really understanding compared to how much things have actually changed? Now, absolutely, in certain situations and in certain places, the vibe has very much changed. I think a lot of that, though, has to do with those demographics of foreigners in certain places changing. Fortunate reality is that some foreigners come to Thailand, they don't act right. Everything's on film nowadays because everybody has an HD camera in their pocket at all times. So what ends up happening is, just like anywhere else in the world, a few shitty people ruin it for everybody. And of course, when it comes to Thai people, this is their country, so they don't like to see foreigners come here and being tools. So what ends up happening is, especially with these Thai people that are in places where they have to deal with foreigners frequently, when people are continued assholes, then of course, we all get stereotyped. There's nothing you can do about it. So when it comes to that situation, now I have noticed sometimes it seems like a few of the locals just don't have the patience for foreigners that they used to. Can't say that I blame them, but that is very much a reality right now, especially in a few specific places. So if you haven't been to Thailand in a while, or maybe it's your first time coming, yes, absolutely, things have changed. Just like everywhere else in the world, Thailand is always growing and evolving, but that doesn't mean by any means that it's not worth a visit. I've seen a lot of content going out in the past few months, expats, digital nomads saying, oh, like Thailand's not worth coming anymore, just leave. I can't tell you whether that's true or a lie because everybody has their own experiences. It's the same thing when you're getting ready to come here. Just because things are different does not necessarily mean that you won't enjoy it. Personally, I still love Thailand. Are there things that I somewhat prefer the way they used to be? Absolutely, but you're gonna get that in every single country. I'm very nostalgic about the time when I first got here, but I don't think very much of that actually comes from Thailand being different now. And at the end of the day, sometimes change is a good thing. Maybe you could use a little change yourself. So Thailand has changed, yes. Is it still worth visiting? Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, please feel free to drop a like down below. It helps the almighty algorithm know that I'm worthy. And if you would like to see more and learn more about Thailand, you know what to do. And for me, it looks like the rain has finally stopped, so I am on my way to get some Thai barbecue. Wish me luck on my food coma. I'll see you guys in the next one.